Aloha, beautiful souls! Welcome to another pick a card reading here at Transform with Ryan. And today we're going to explore pretty much everybody's favorite topic is your future spouse. And we're going to look at their personality. So, specifically, we're looking at your future spouse's strengths and also their weaknesses, or what I prefer to call areas of improvement. Okay? So you have three options as usual here because I love the number three, the number of creation, the number of magic and power. So you can look at the piles and see what calls to you, but I felt called to use crystals this time. So we have Angel Aura Quartz here as the first option, and I really love how it reflects the light source here. We have Kyanite as the second option. And lastly, but not least, we have Moonstone, okay, for the third option. So if you do better with closing your eyes and meditating, taking a few deep breaths in, connecting with your heart, connecting with the energy of love and romance, and breathing that in, calling that energy in, connecting with your future spouse on the astral plane, by all means, please do so. And whenever you are ready, open your eyes and choose one of these three options here, okay? So really important to connect with your future spouse's energy and the energy of love and romance. Now, timestamps and chapter markers are down below to go to your reading. See you there. Hey there, Star Fam. Welcome to your reading to find out more about your future spouse's personality here. We're going to find, again, strengths and also weaknesses or areas of improvement. So for those of you that were drawn to the Angel Aura Quartz here, I have to say this is like one of my favorite newer crystals to work with. I just love the way it reflects the light. Now I'm curious. I know this is kind of random, but I wanted to get to know my audience better. Do you have a favorite scent or a favorite essential oil? Now, along my spiritual journey, I found essential oils to be such an excellent adjunct to the healing process, especially the calming scents. One of my favorite is this combination actually of cedar wood with bergamot. I find it so grounding, so soothing. So let me know if there's any scents that you really enjoy, whether it's a perfume, a cologne, or essential oils that you like to diffuse, all right? So let's get into your reading. For those of you drawn to this Angel Aura Quartz, let's put it right here up in the top center, okay? That's the featured guest. So actually, I wanted to start with weaknesses and areas of improvement. Okay, let's just get the difficult stuff out first, right? So this is the strength, so we will reveal that here in a moment. But let's start with these weaknesses. Areas of improvement. Now, what's interesting, I have to say for you who chose the first crystal, when I was shuffling to prepare these piles, you actually got 3 energy cards to give us more insight onto the weakness and areas of improvement. At first, I was like kind of panicked, like, oh my God, is there a lot to uncover here? But I think really, once I took a deep breath, it's just more explanation so that you understand it better. So we have links. Discernment. Look beyond immediate appearances. So I would say that it's very clear, very obvious to me that your future spouse can be kind of judgy. They can have this, sort of first pass is like judging a book by its cover. Okay? And I'm hearing that it's not just people, it's kind of like places, right? They're that kind of person that maybe is like, oh, this place looks trashy, it looks shabby, like I prefer 4 or 5-star accommodations kinds of thing, right? Or maybe when they go to a restaurant, if it doesn't look clean, it doesn't look sanitary, it doesn't look, stylish and chic or whatever, like they don't want to eat there, okay? So that's part of their weakness, aka areas of improvement, is that they would do well by looking deeper at things and not really judging the quality or the value of something based simply on how it looks. Now let's get some more information with these energy cards. So you have appreciation, patience, rest and rejuvenation. Okay, so I'm hearing for sure this person definitely makes some snap judgments, okay? And I would say there's a fair amount of time actually where this person's first judgment, their first impressions have been proven wrong. You know, it's kind of like they look at a dish and they're like, ew, that looks disgusting, it looks gross. And then they actually taste it and they try like, oh, actually this is really delicious, it's really yummy, right? So they really make these snap judgments, snap decisions, and they just kind of like take it to be their truth unless they're open and willing to be proven otherwise, or someone around them is like, hey, hold on, before you like write this off, why don't we give it a try? Why don't we see if we can find out more first before, you know, we abandon this restaurant, this plan, this person entirely. Like, let's just find out more, okay? I feel like you're that person for them. It's like, hold on a second, let's not jump the gun here. Let's just find out more before we make our final decision, okay? And here, you know, part of the root of this weakness here is they could do better by learning how to appreciate simpler things, okay? Because let me tell you, what I've learned along my journey is just because it looks good doesn't necessarily mean it is good. You feel me? I feel like you know exactly what I'm talking about, my pile number one. Just because it looks good doesn't mean it is good. Okay? In fact, looks can be deceiving, and that goes both ways, right? Like, you may think something is bad and it's good, and you may think something is good and it's really bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could flip it on you. Flip it. So really, this person, they just need to understand and appreciate the simpler things in life. They need to understand, like, you know, when I'm thinking of food and eating, that yeah, like you can plate something really nice and really fancy and garnish it and make it look really appealing as far as like a aesthetic viewpoint, but that doesn't mean it's going to taste good. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of my favorite places to eat are those places that look like hole in the walls, because I feel like the food is actually so delicious there, right? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I don't know if this place passed the health inspection code, right? Like, borderline for me, right? Now, of course, if something looks like, you know, I don't know if they're feeding me actual food or like bugs, then yes, I'm not going to eat there because that's like a health issue. But, you know, some places you go to, like in Chinatown or whatever, you're like, I don't know about this place, but they have like amazing bomb food. So I feel like your future spouse would have a good practice in learning how to appreciate the quality, the heart, and the soul of something rather than just the appearance. It's like this very Beauty and the Beast kind of theme and vibe here. Now, this rest and rejuvenation, this thing is interesting in the context of discernment. So I think we need to call the tarot out to kind of explain to us, what is this rest and rejuvenation card really trying to tell us, really trying to explain to us? I'm hearing like one thing is that sometimes your future spouse needs to give their opinions a rest. Like, they talk too much. And sometimes they put their foot in their mouth, right? Or these snap judgments can be a little bit embarrassing, a little bit cruel, a little bit mean. Oops. Okay, Spirit, we don't need that many cards. How about just another one card? Can we do that, please? To explain. Okay, we got two. That's cool. Thank you, Spirit, for the abundance and the generosity here. So rest and rejuvenation, to clarify, we have Mother of Swords, Son of Wands, and Seven of Pentacles. Okay, yes. So what I'm seeing here is that your future spouse, like, one of their weaknesses or areas of improvement is that they need to spend more time reflecting on their thoughts and opinions on things. I'm hearing that actually a lot of it is programming. Okay, so what I'm seeing with this is they are like the Son of Wands, and the parent, mother or father, is the Mother of Swords. Okay, so their parents kind of programmed to believe like, this is quality, this is trash, this is safe, this is dangerous, this is delicious, this is disgusting, right? So they've been programmed by their parents to have this certain standard on things, which they passionately sort of enforce. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, my parents say that, I don't know, Thai food is disgusting, and therefore I don't eat Thai food. Do you know what I'm saying? Or my parents, we never really stayed at like Airbnb or a bed and breakfast. We always stayed at the Hilton, so I can only stay at the Hilton now, right? It's that, so it's like this upbringing that they are functioning out of, and they're not really opening their eyes and really learning things for themselves. They're taking whatever their parents say to be factual, and not really challenging that notion to be like, are my parents really right about this or are they not? Okay, they don't really explore that. So it's like you need to give it a rest. You need to give this these like outdated ideas, outdated notions, a rest and step into something new. Like revamp your opinion of the world and your opinion on things to make space for what you're actually experiencing compared to what your parents are experiencing. You know, like maybe Thai food isn't to their parents' palate, but that doesn't mean you don't like Thai food and you can't enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Now let's hone in on their strengths. So we have Hawk, focus. Ooh, okay. So one of the strengths of your future spouse is that when they set their mind on something, they become very focused and they get it done. So so many people these days, they have a problem with staying on track, staying focused. Like they're easily distractible. Raising my hand here, like I can be easily distracted. But your future spouse does not have that problem. Your future spouse is very communicated. What on earth did I just... What the frick kind of word is that? Oh my God. They are very committed. They are very disciplined, okay? So I get the sense too that they're probably organized. I feel like they're a very organized person. I would even wager there's a high chance they are type A personality, kind of pulling these elements together, okay? They're very disciplined. I get the sense that, they're that person that can really keep the boundaries in place where it's like, hun, right now I'm going to the gym. I need to have my 30 minutes uninterrupted gym time. So don't text me, don't call me while I'm at the gym unless it's an absolute emergency. This is what I'm doing for the next 30 minutes. Or love, I'm at work. I'm going to be in very important meetings. I will get back to you when I have a break, either lunch or my 15 minutes, right? Like they're that kind of person that's super focused, that they are insanely productive, right? I feel like I need some of that energy in my life where it's like, when they have a task, they're like a taskmaster. Yeah, like they like to complete things, they like to get things done. It makes them feel good about themselves. It makes them feel like they spent their day properly. So they're very focused, almost to the point where like they ignore the rest of the world is what I'm getting. Like they get really in the zone of doing things. Let's look at some explanations on that. So angel of strength and adjacent possibilities. So I believe with this card, it's definitely just saying it's strength of will. In fact, I get the sense too that, how I was saying they're like hyper-focused, they almost really don't tolerate interruptions or distractions. It's kind of like they really, when they're into something and they're doing something, like don't bother them unless the house is on fire, like that kind of thing. They don't do well with that. They like to, and the thing is, I feel like, when they're in the zone and they're focused, it's like their productivity increases exponentially. And once they get snapped out of that, it's really hard for them to get back in the zone. And so it frustrates them. And so they really, tenacious. That's a good word. They're really tenacious about something, and they go for it. They go hard, and they're very goal-oriented, goal-driven. Now, this adjacent possibilities, I feel like that's speaking, a little bit to, again, they don't really like being distracted or being taken away from the task that they're working on, that they're so focused on. But I think we should get some tarot to clarify this adjacent possibilities a little bit further. So can we get some clarification here with the adjacent possibilities card to help us understand pile one's future spouse strength a lot better? Okay, so we have this card and this card. Okay, so we have the Emperor and the Ten of Wands. Okay, so what I'm seeing here with this adjacent possibilities and the Emperor, so really they can have a very like black and white personality, which kind of makes sense with the weakness area of improvement. So with the Emperor card, they value structure, they value order, they value schedules, right? Again, very type A personality, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, with this Ten of Wands, this card speaks a little bit about burden and carrying a weight, okay? So now as it relates to adjacent possibilities, I don't know if you can, maybe if you're putting this together yourself, it's kind of like, if they don't do this work, if they don't get this done, then in their mind, it will be a burden or there will be some sort of suffering elsewhere, right? So if I don't get my workout in and stay focused, I'm not gonna feel good, right? I'm not gonna have energy to do my work and get paid. If I don't have energy, if I don't focus on this project, my boss is gonna get mad, I could get fired, and then I won't have a job and I won't have income, right? And with your future spouse and the Emperor, they take your well-being as their responsibility as well, okay? So they're like, hey, if I can't do what I need to do, I cannot take care of you, I cannot provide for you, right? If I'm constantly distracted at work, I can't, do my best work and get that promotion, get that raise, so we are well off down the road. We are taken care of. We don't have to worry about finances and money. So that's their energy, okay? And in their mind, with their focus, they also see this sort of, like when it comes to their career and their goals, they have this roadmap. They have this like game plan. It's like, okay, I'm gonna enter the company this, and then within 5 years, I'm gonna be promoted to manager. And then with another, 6-7 years, I'm gonna be promoted to partner or regional director or something, right? They have this like plan, and then they have this idea in like investments, like that I'm gonna increase my wealth this way, I'm going to put more money into this, or I'm going to save, I'm going to put aside money here into this fund so that our children can go to college, right? Like they're constantly thinking in that mindset where it's like, how can I best utilize my time and stay focused so that I'm taken care of and the people I love are taken care of as well. So, their mindset really isn't always on fun and like being distracted and just being and existing. They're hustling. That's the energy I'm feeling from your future spouses. They're a hustler, okay? And a lot of it is because they want to take care of other people and they don't want to be a burden to anybody else, or they don't want anyone around them to experience like a struggle, okay? Wow, my gosh, I feel like this energy of like it's about their honor and their pride, right? And that's part of what drives them to work so hard and stay focused. Very, very interesting. So there you go, my loves. There's some information on your future spouse's personality, strengths, and weaknesses. Thank you so much for tuning in to your reading today, Star Fam. Make sure to like and comment down below what you're calling in from your reading, and definitely share this reading with anybody who you think would enjoy the messages shared just as much as you did. Now, the thing that I love about the tarot is that it opens up our mind and our hearts to a world of possibilities. What's possible for us when it comes to love? What's possible for us when it comes to career and our dream life? But once we know that, how do we make sure it happens? How do we manifest these things into reality? And just as important, how do we identify the things that are totally blocking us and stopping us from getting what we want so we can move them out of the way? Well, to do that, I invite you to book an energy alignment session with me. The link to do so is in the description box below, and let's sort this out for you. I look forward to connecting with you, and until next time, have a beautiful day. Bye! Hey there, Star Fam. Welcome to your reading. For those of you that were drawn to this lovely kyanite crystal. Now, totally random, but I wanted to get to know my audience, my viewers a lot better. And so I was wondering if any of you have a favorite scent or a favorite essential oil that you like to use. You know, essential oils were a big part of my journey as I explored my spirituality. And I particularly enjoy this combination of cedarwood and bergamot because it's grounding, but also mood lifting. Okay, so I'm just wondering, like, is there a favorite scent that like warms your heart, makes you feel good, calms you down, whatever, or essential oil you like to work with? Now, let's put your kyanite crystal right up here in the seat of honor. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to start off with the weaknesses, or what I prefer to call the areas of improvement on your future spouse. And this is speaking more to their strengths. Okay, so we'll cover that after the weaknesses. Let's just get kind of the difficult part out of the way first. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we have butterfly transformation. So what I'm seeing here with this butterfly, oh my gosh, such a beautiful color combination as well. Side note, here in Bali, butterflies are like all over the place and they're so gorgeous, and it's such a calming sign from the universe for me that things are going well. You know, I don't know how butterflies, what they symbolize for you. But what I'm getting here with transformation is that I'm getting that your future spouse, part of their area of improvement is they're kind of a bit stubborn and they're a bit set in their ways. Okay, like for them to have a big breakthrough and like release some of the limitations, programming, conditioning, to step into something more expansive, more receptive, is like a huge hurdle for them. It's like you might as well just be asking them to climb like a mountain or something like that. That's a big challenge for them. I feel like they're that type of person that can be very set in their ways, and it takes a lot of effort, a lot of desire and motivation on their part to want to change and to want to shift. I'm hearing that they really value routine. Like that's a big part of their life, and you know, it's really hard for them when their routine is disrupted. You know what I'm saying? I feel like part of who they are is like, I wake up at 6 a.m. every day, I exercise, then I take a shower and I eat my breakfast at 7 and I'm out the door by 7:30. You know, like, and then after work I go, you know, for a run, or I go to my meeting and then I come home for dinner, and then after dinner, like I read my book or I watch a movie and then I go to bed, right? Like they really like this routine. It helps help them feel like they're on track, that they're getting, you know, everything they want to get done during the day is like check, 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 check. I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, right? Like they're this checklist kind of person, routine kind of person, and you know, they don't really do well with disruptions. I'm also hearing like vacation wise and dining wise, like they have their favorite spots they like to go to. They're not a foodie like me, for example, maybe like you, even, I don't know, where you're like, oh my God, there's this new restaurant that opened, I really want to try it. Or, oh my gosh, we've never done that before, why don't we go do that? Like, they're not that kind of person. That's not what I'm getting from this. It's like, they have clear, distinct likes and dislikes. And there's very little room for changing or shifting with that. Okay, let's see more about their energy. So we have the thinking woman. And, oh my God, that's crazy. What? The thinking woman and the thinking man? Okay, so this person clearly is very cerebral, all right? They're very logic driven. They're very, I feel the energy is very organized. They like organization. They're not a big fan of chaos and disruption. So I'm hearing that they like a neat and tidy home, a neat and tidy car, a neat and tidy workspace. Like, oh my gosh, I'm getting visions of like one of my friends, you know, they had this like habit, like I'm not saying I'm a neat freak, but they had this habit of like their car was sort of like a hoarder's vehicle. And it's like they would just dump like their clothes in the back, like their change of clothes for work, or like even sometimes they would just like put their, you know, when you go in the drive-thru and you get your soda, like that soda cup or whatever in the back. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so gross. Like, throw that away. Like, why are you keeping that in your car? You know what I'm saying? Like they don't like that. They're not that person. Maybe they even wash their car every week and vacuum the inside every week. Like maybe they're that kind of person. You know what I'm saying? But they do not tolerate messes. And that's what change and transformation can symbolize for them is like a mess, right? Change is almost like the equivalent of chaos in their life. It's like, oh my gosh, hold on, you want to change this, you want to do this, then that's going to affect everything else down the road, down the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean you want to do this activity instead of that activity? That activity that you want to change to takes 3 hours, and in my schedule, I only plan for 2 hours for this activity block. You know what I'm saying? Like, it like really freaks them out. They're not like that. They don't really do well with that. I'm also getting here too with the thinking man. Remember how I was saying they're logical? So in order for them to change or shift or do something more, you have to appeal to their logic. You have to literally convince them why this is a good idea, how they're going to benefit from this, how this is going to work out better. You know what I'm saying? They're not that type of person where you can like appeal to their emotions necessarily. They're that type of person like, oh, you want to go to this place for a vacation instead of that place that we normally go to? Well, tell me why. Why would it be better for us to go vacation over there? And, you know, saying like, oh, because it's something new, it's something different. That's not a good enough reason. They need more. I don't know. Maybe it's like, oh, well, this place has this type of brewery and you really like your IPAs, and so this IPA is like in the top 10 now in the country, like it's an up and coming brewery, and I know you value good flavored beer. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's something like that. Like you have to like explain and justify. It can't just be like, oh, because I feel like it. Like that argument, that explanation is not going to fly with them. You know what I'm curious about is like, I want to know more about this stubbornness. Like, why they're afraid of change. I know I said like I was feeling that change to them means chaos and disorganization and stuff like that, but I feel like there's a deeper meaning there about why they're so resistant to change. And this is probably going to help you understand and have patience with them, especially if you're more of a free spirit type, you know? It's making me think of that show, I think it's called Yours, Mine, Ours, or Cheaper by the Dozen. Oh my God, I don't even remember. It's one of those two shows, and it's like the mom was like this artsy, fartsy, craftsy kind of person that didn't really follow a schedule and was more creative and expressive, and the dad was like a Navy general, and so he was all about organization, being on time, cleanliness, right? That kind of thing. Okay, so there's one card. Can we get another card maybe to help us understand why they're so resistant to change? Okay, so we have, Daughter of Wands and the World. What is this about here? So what I'm seeing with this is something happened in their childhood. Okay, that's why I'm seeing this Daughter of Wands energy. Something happened where they were really passionate about something. Maybe it was like some kind of hobby. And they were really let down by what played out. So it's kind of like they had their hopes and their dreams dashed regarding this passion, this hobby. It's almost like what I'm hearing is, say they wanted to be an artist, right? And you know, so many parents before they were like, oh, you can't be an artist, you can't make money that way. Like they had this image of a starving artist is like that stereotypical lifestyle of an artist, right? And they wanted to pursue their passion and their dream of art, but then the world and the conditioning and the circumstances didn't support that, right? Like maybe they tried to sell their art and then nobody bought it. And now they felt discouraged and they felt let down. They're like, okay, yeah, I guess I can't really nurture my passions and do the things that mean a lot to me. I need to stick to something safe, something stable, something predictable, all right? I need to fall in line with, you know, popular opinion, mainstream thought, the regular kind of pattern of life that I'm seeing out there in the world, right? They're feeling like they can never be the exception and experience success doing something that they love, right? Or going on a whim and just like following their heart. Like they kind of got hurt in that way. And so again, that's why they're so logic driven. And that's why they feel a little bit of danger and apprehension when it comes to a change or transformation. Okay. Because when they tried to change the way that the world viewed them, change the way the parents viewed them, they were kind of let down. It's like, no, I don't want to fall into this narrative of the starving artist. I'm going to change that belief. I'm going to be the successful, well-fed artist. And it didn't work out. And this was something just from their past. Doesn't mean, of course, that it can't work out now for them, but they feel like, when you follow your passions, when you follow your heart, it doesn't always lead to good places. Okay, hopefully that made sense. Let's move on to their strengths. So we have Wolf, Guardian. Oh, that's beautiful. You are safe and protected at all times. So they're really always looking out for you and their loved ones. Okay, that is their priority. As long as you're safe, as long as you're protected, as long as you're cared for, it's like they're happy. And they're really good at that. They're really good at making sure that you will always have food on the table. You will always have a safe, warm, comfortable place to stay, and they will always have your back. They're very loyal. That's the energy that I'm feeling here. It's kind of like they would never betray you. They'd never do you wrong. They'd never put you in a dangerous or compromised position. It's like they always are looking out for you. They're always having your back. And they're that really the best and most honorable expression of a protector, okay? Now let's look at this energy. The sun and community. Oh, there you go. So I feel like one of their strengths is if it's like, if they consider you a friend, if you are family, it's like ride or die with you, okay? They really value the bonds of community. Again, whether a friendship kind of community or a family community, they value that. And they will always show up and be there for you. Like when you need something, they would be that person that's very reliable and that person that will take care of you. Oh my God, it's actually reminding me of, I don't know if you've ever seen this show. It's on HBO Max. Oh my gosh, why am I like blanking on it now? It's like a ballroom competition show. Oh, this is gonna annoy me. I can't believe I can't think of the name because my cousin was actually on that show. But in ballroom culture, there's always like a mother or a father of the house, right? Like you have the house of Versace, the house of Balenciaga, right? And so in that house, which is like a chosen family, there's a mother and or a father, and they take care of everyone in the house. And there was one house where it's like one of the members, they, I think their car broke down or they needed to get from one city to another and they didn't have a ride. And the father, took time off work, drove to the city to pick that person up and bring them back home. And so it's like that kind of thing. Like if you need a ride to and from the airport, if your car breaks down, if, your power goes out, that kind of thing. Or if you need to borrow some money, like your future spouse has got you covered. Your future spouse is always willing to lend a helping hand. Now here with the sun, what I'm getting is that people really, how I was saying that your future spouse can be like very resistant to change and kind of be set in their ways. Like that can be hard to work with, but also it can be this source of stability and security, right? It's like, I know that this person will always be there for me, okay? It's very grounding, it's very centering. It's like, what I'm hearing is like the sun is like the center of the universe, or our galaxy, our universe, right? And all the planets revolve around the sun. And so that's how it is with your future spouse. It's kind of like they're the glue. This is good. Okay, this makes sense. I'm so glad that I've received this message. It's like they're the glue that holds the friendship, the family together. That's what is meant by this sun card, okay? Oh, I love that. I love that energy where it's like, that person that keeps the group together, that makes sure everyone is seen, heard, loved, that kind of thing. Oh God, so good. I love that. I love that. It just feels so amazing. I feel like your future spouse too, is really seen sort of as like the elder, the one that everybody goes to when they're struggling, when they need advice, when they need guidance, when they need wisdom, okay? I see them having that kind of elder role. And, I just want to make this distinction. It doesn't mean that they are the oldest. Like, so maybe they have older brother or sister, but I don't know, maybe their older brother or sister is a hot mess or is like too busy doing their own thing. And so your future spouse is the one that holds the family together, that anchors the family together, makes sure everybody stays in communication, stays in contact, that you spend time together regularly, okay? Like, I feel that kind of energy coming from them. Now, I want to know more about this guardian protector role because I feel like I didn't cover it fully. Like, in what ways does this person, this future spouse, represented with the Kyanite card in this reading, what ways do they serve as guardian and protector? Like, what other things can we find out about them to help us understand it better? Okay, so we have the Seven of Wands and the Lovers. Oh, beautiful. So they have a lot of love. What I'm hearing from them is, this energy is not this kind of like touchy-feely kind of energy as like lovers. They show their love by doing. Okay, it screams very typical like man energy from, before, like my generation's fathers, where it's like, hey, I may not like cry in front of you or like baby you, but I will always make sure that you are provided for. Like, that's how they show their love, right? And I see too that they will defend you. Like, if someone tries to hurt you or bully you, like, they will be the first one to like jump into the fray and be like, step back or I will beat you, right? Like, they're that type of person. Like, they're that type of person that will fight for you, like literally fight for you, your safety, your respect, your honor. Like, they will fight for you. They're that kind of person that will speak out. Like, I'm seeing like, those parent-teacher conferences, right? Where they really stand up for their child and be like, hold on, like, what you're saying, like, doesn't make sense to me. Like, maybe perhaps we need to look at this from another standpoint, right? Or like in a workplace is like, hey, you really disrespected somebody, like you need to go apologize to them, or if they're like, hey, that doesn't make sense because now you're putting too much work and too much pressure on these people and they don't deserve that. Like, we all need to chip in and do our part. We can't just all place the responsibility and the burden on their shoulders, right? Like, they're this kind of like champion of justice. There you go. That's a good word for them. They're like a champion of justice. Oh, I love that. So there you go, loves. There's some information on your future spouse's personality, strengths, and areas of improvement. Thank you so much for tuning in to your reading today, Star Fam. Make sure to like and comment down below what you're calling in from your reading, and definitely share this reading with anybody who you think would enjoy the messages shared just as much as you did. Now, the thing that I love about the tarot is that it opens up our mind and our hearts to a world of possibilities. What's possible for us when it comes to love? What's possible for us when it comes to career and our dream life? But once we know that, how do we make sure it happens? How do we manifest these things into reality? And just as important, how do we identify the things that are totally blocking us and stopping us from getting what we want so we can move them out of the way? Well, to do that, I invite you to book an energy alignment session with me. The link to do so is in the description box below, and let's sort this out for you. I look forward to connecting with you, and until next time, have a beautiful day. Bye! Hey there, Star Fam. Welcome to your reading on your future spouse's personality, their strengths and areas of improvement, aka weaknesses. For those of you that were drawn to this Moonstone, let's get into your reading. But before that, I thought I'd ask this sort of like random kind of question because I wanted to get to know you more as my viewer and audience. Do you have a favorite scent or a favorite essential oil? Essential oils were a big part of my spiritual journey to support me along it. And, people love like scented candles and air fresheners and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just wondering, like, do you all have a favorite scent or essential oil? Now, for me, I really love this combination actually of bergamot with cedarwood because there's this grounding yet mood lifting energy when you mix those scents and diffuse it. So maybe you should try it. But let me know down in the comments below. I want to know more about you, my viewers. If you have a favorite scent, if you've worked with essential oils, and which ones you liked. So let's put this Moonstone up in the position of honor here to kind of anchor in your reading. So we are going to start with the weaknesses, aka areas of improvement, because we all have those. And let's get that out of the way first, and then we'll look at the strengths, okay? So we have Dove, Serenity, slow down, pause, and breathe. So I'm actually seeing like two things here with your future spouse. So the first thing here is that your future spouse can sometimes be a bit of a pushover, okay? No tea, no shade, but your future spouse can be sometimes a bit of a pushover. They can definitely be that kind of martyr energy where they're like just such a giver. They're okay with self-sacrifice and taking on all these burdens, and they're the ones that like a yes man, yes woman, right? They're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll help you. Even though they're like so freaking tired already and they're just like donezo, or they want time to themselves. They're that type of person that has a really hard time saying no. Saying like, I'm not gonna do that, or that doesn't seem fair to me, so no, I'm not gonna participate in that. Like, they are that person that will always be giving and putting their needs aside for other people. And so that can be very challenging for them. And I'm hearing that you're gonna need to be their advocate. Okay, you're gonna need to be the one that's kind of like that security guard and be like, you need to back up. There needs to be 10 feet of distance from you and my future spouse. You're gonna have to be the one that says, hun, I don't really think you should do that. So I'm gonna cancel, and they're just gonna have to figure it out because it's not your job, it's not your responsibility to do this. I feel like you're gonna have to take that role in their life. Now, the other thing here is part of this energy of like, yes, man, yes, woman, I could do it, I could do it, I could do it, is they don't slow down. They always want to move, 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 move. They want to go, 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 go. And so it's like, this is the type of person that cannot sit still. That's what I'm seeing is like an area where they need to improve. They need to calm down. They need to just be. They need to get the proper amount of sleep. Not forget to eat lunch and dinner, like nourish their body, because they're just go, 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 go. They cannot sit still. They cannot concentrate and focus on something, nor do they find it easy to kind of just relax. Just relax. Stop thinking about work. Stop thinking about the things you need to do today. Like, they will get taken care of in time, but for right now, just relax. Right? I'm hearing too that they're that type of person you try to take them to a spa or a sauna and it's like they cannot sit still, in the sauna and just relax, or they want to fidget and move during their massage or their facial. Like they're very movie. Okay, let's see what these energy cards are revealing. Woman holding a coin, door to spirit. So I'm seeing one of the issues for them is like connecting with themselves. Like do is a distraction for them, right? If they're constantly getting into something, then they don't have to confront their feelings or the pain and the trauma that they experienced, right? It's kind of like, I don't know, the pet dog dies. And instead of like taking the day to mourn and reminisce and remember the family pet dog, they're like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. They like to be distracted so that they don't have to face these very difficult emotions, these traumas, this pain, and, heal them and move beyond them. And that's part of like the spiritual journey, the spiritual awakening process as you go through this dark night of the soul, dark night of the ego. You confront the shadow aspects of yourself and bring in that light, bring in that love and that unconditional acceptance of yourself, right? That's one of their challenges here is like to slow down enough to really just grieve any losses, to really just feel the sadness and the anger of difficulties and challenges in life, right? That's one of the areas that they need to open up and be willing to explore and embrace. Here, what I'm seeing with women holding a coin is they're definitely focused a lot on that money, honey. Okay. It's like, how can I make more money? They're like almost pathologically obsessed with finances, which, a lot of us, we worry about finances because that's how we pay for rent. That's how we take care of ourselves, take care of other people is with money, right? That's how the world is working right now. But they do it to the point of their detriment. It's like, what I'm seeing is sometimes it's never enough, right? They have this never enough kind of energy about them. That's why they're on the go. It's like, I cannot sit still because it's not enough that I finish this thing. I need to finish this other thing too. I need to do this other thing too, right? It's always like they don't take time to appreciate the win, appreciate the victory, the goal being achieved. It's like on to the next thing. Like I can't sit down and like have a celebratory dinner. Like, no, there's so many things I still have to do, right? So that's kind of their energy. It's like they're so focused on this productivity, do, that they're not really nourishing themselves. And, they're, again, maybe they had an upbringing where they were poor, right? Poorer. Or maybe they had an upbringing where it's like money meant everything to the family. And if you didn't have money, you were a nobody, you were nothing. And so they really have this kind of maybe like a distorted relationship with money, right? Like money to them is like happiness. Money to them is like a benchmark of are they doing enough, right? Are they good enough? Their sense of self-worth and self-value is very closely tied to their income, their salary, right? That's really heavy. That's really hard. I really empathize with that. Feeling like we can pull some tarot cards here to give you some more information on how you can support them, like how you can maybe encourage them to take some time off and not be so hard on themselves, not be so money focused, and really have that bravery to confront their inner demons, their inner shadows, so that they can find peace and be able to relax. So let's see how you can assist with that as their future spouse. Okay, so we have Son of Wands and Mother of Cups. Oh, interesting. So I'm seeing you're going to have to do a little bit of parenting. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is this is their energy. Wands is this very fiery, passionate, active, do kind of energy, right? A little bit childish in a way with the Son of Wands. It's kind of like, how kids, they like to be entertained, they like to be playing, they like to be doing. And nowadays, like, my God, attention span of kids is like so short, right? So I feel like this is definitely their energy. And here with this swan, it's like this, you need to bring this grace into their life, this calm, this peaceful energy, and here help them with, opening up with their emotions. With this cup here, I'm really seeing that maybe at meal times might be a good time for you to talk to them and really check in with them, right? It's like when I was growing up, no matter what we were doing, we always ate dinner together as a family. So I feel like that is maybe one of the few times during their day where you can say, at the dinner table, we are putting our phones on silent. We are turning them off. We are actually talking to each other face to face. We're not going to be distracted. We're not going to be checking emails or DMs or, scrolling Instagram or whatever. Like, everybody sit down and let's check in with each other. How did your day go? How are you feeling? Like, actually, I don't want to just like an itinerary of what you did today. I want to know, like, how are you feeling about how your day went? Okay, so I feel like that's how you're going to be able to assist them with improving, okay, and on this area aspect of their personality. So let's look at the strengths. Okay, we have Coyote, wise fool, accept your follies and find the teaching in them. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that your future spouse, they don't take mistakes, obstacles, or setbacks too seriously. Because remember, they're go, go, go kind of attitude. So they don't sit still for long. So when they're faced with an obstacle, they're very determined. They're very determined to troubleshoot, problem solve. They're very solution focused. Again, because they don't want to stop. They want to keep moving. So it's very hard for them to get discouraged. It's very hard for them to give up. So they're that type of person where it's like, okay, again, this is more logic driven than emotionally driven. It's like, if I'm facing this obstacle, if I'm facing this setback, if I made a mistake, what am I going to learn from it so I can deal with it better in the future, or I can prevent it from happening. Okay, that's one of their strengths. They're very, very smart. I get the sense that they're very intelligent and they're a fast learner. Okay, that's where their strength is in the mind, is in the cerebral, is in the doing. It's just the pausing and the reflecting and the receiving and the relaxing, like all those R words, rejuvenating, reflection, right? That's where they're struggling. That's where their struggle is in this lifetime. That's where they can grow and evolve as a spirit, as a soul. I'm also hearing too, one of their strengths is they actually love teaching people. They love passing on wisdom and knowledge. They love lending that sort of helping hand where it's like, oh, I've had that problem before. Let me share with you how to solve it, how to move past it. Right? They're that type of person. I'm hearing like they're like a FAQ kind of personality, right? Frequently asked questions and they're happy to answer these questions. They're also that kind of person that, I don't know, maybe they post on Reddit or these like Facebook groups for expat communities or whatever, right? Where they're like, hey guys, I just found out that this is an issue for some people and this is how you work around it, this is how you fix it, this is how you get stuff done. All right, they're that kind of person that shares these strategies and these solutions with others so that they hopefully don't have to go through the drama of trying to figure things out on their own, right? And waste time. So for the energy cards we have, oh my gosh, man holding a coin, woman holding a coin over there. Strategy. Ooh, were we not just talking about this? So your person is definitely, they have strength in strategy. I would say they really draw a lot of wisdom from their personal experiences. So some people call that like street smarts, right? And they love like learning how to solve problems. I mean, honestly, now that I'm like saying all this, I wouldn't be surprised if they're that type of person that likes to do the crossword puzzle. They like to do Sudoku. They like to play with Rubik's cubes, right? Or those like puzzle games, any kind of puzzle game. I feel like they like. And there you go, right? I was just saying they cannot sit still. Their mind constantly has to be active and moving, thinking about something, right? It's like, quiet the mind, guys. Quiet the mind. Give your mind a rest. So that's the type of thing that they're good at, right? Trivia even maybe. I feel like they're very good at board games. or what is that game? Settlers of Catan. And what is that game where you're like a kingdom and you expand your kingdom? Oh my God, why am I blanking on the name of that game? I feel like you guys know what that game is, right? I'm seeing the box. It has like people in red uniforms in it. Yeah. Anyways, like they're really good at those kinds of games, those kinds of activities. Here, man holding a coin. What I'm hearing from them is they're really good at efficiency. Okay, that's one of their strengths is efficiency. So using their time and their energy for the maximum profit. Okay, They're like on the go, 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 go. So they need to know there's only 24 hours in a day. So how do I use that to the best of my ability? How do I make it so it's the most productive day, most earnings, right? Like that's kind of their mindset here. And they become pretty good at that. Honestly, they become pretty good at being efficient with their time, at least when it comes to work and stuff. Productivity. Ooh, that's a good word for them. They're super productive. They, part of what drives them is like, how can I do this faster? Right? So I could free up time to do something else. Oh my God, that's their mindset. Like, do. So they're always thinking about ways to make this process simpler, maybe even automated, so that they, again, can free up more time to pursue other interests. Oh my gosh. This person sounds like the perfect kind of like entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? Like they sound like a great entrepreneur. They sound like a good like systems manager, right? Like they probably do well in these human resources roles, strategizing, marketing, like this kind of thing. I feel like they would be really strong at that. I feel like like this wise fool phrase keeps like coming back to me, and I feel like there's something that we could expand on with that. So Spirit, can you expand on this concept of like wise fool? Like what else can you tell us about the future spouse from my Moonstone pile that elaborates a little bit on this? There we go, it was this card, wise fool. So you have here the Four of Wands and Strength. Oh, interesting. So what I'm hearing is they have a lot of willpower. Okay, they have a lot of inner strength. That's what helps them stay, pushing forward despite any setbacks. So they have a strong sense of will. What is that phrase that I'm thinking of? It's like mind over matter. There you go. So their mind is very strong. It's like whatever they believe, like my gosh, it gives them power. Their beliefs really magnify their power and their abilities. So when they believe they can do something, like my gosh, there's nothing, like they will move heaven and earth to make it happen. That's how strong their belief is in themselves. And okay, now I'm hearing too, that's how this interplays with the area of improvement, is they believe they can do everything. All right, that's why they keep taking on all these tasks and they're like the yes man, yes woman. They believe they can do it all. It's like that soccer dad, soccer mom kind of energy, right? I just do everything. I cook, I clean, I go to work, I drop the kids off, I give back to the community. Like they believe they can do everything and that they're like Superman, Superwoman kind of vibe. And at times, they have like way more energy than most people. Like I'll give them that, right? But they're still human. The body still has limits. Body still needs to sleep. Body still needs to eat. So they just need to be reminded of that. I'm here with the Four of Wands. What I'm seeing is that they have a lot to celebrate. They have a lot of victory. They have a lot of success. But the thing is, remember, they're go, 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 right? So they don't really stop to celebrate. It's like other people celebrate for them. And, when they have this certificate ceremony, this award ceremony, like that's what gets them to stop. Like honestly, I'm hearing like they prefer not to go to those kinds of events, especially like when they're recognized. What I'm hearing is they're not that type of person that likes to be in the limelight. They like to just do and let their accomplishments speak for themselves. But they don't need an award or some kind of public recognition to feel good about what they're doing. And so, other people have to stop and remind them and say like, hey, you did a great job. Like take the next week off. Like you worked so hard the past couple months getting this project off and running. And now I think you deserve to rest. Like someone has to tell them like, stop, celebrate, rest, right? Because they won't do it themselves. But everyone recognizes. So that's the good thing about it. Is like people recognize all the hard work and all the good things they contribute. Like they're not ever taken for granted. So, woo, I hope you enjoyed your reading, finding out more about your spouse's personality. Thank you so much for tuning in to your reading today, Star Fam. Make sure to like and comment down below what you're calling in from your reading, and definitely share this reading with anybody who you think would enjoy the messages shared just as much as you did. Now, the thing that I love about the tarot is that it opens up our mind and our hearts to a world of possibilities. What's possible for us when it comes to love? What's possible for us when it comes to career and our dream life? But once we know that, how do we make sure it happens? How do we manifest these things into reality? And just as important, how do we identify the things that are totally blocking us and stopping us from getting what we want so we can move them out of the way? Well, to do that, I invite you to book an energy alignment session with me. The link to do so is in the description box below, and let's sort this out for you. I look forward to connecting with you, and until next time, have a beautiful day. Bye.